We're back with No More Popcorn. This is a much different movie than last week.
It is. It's Italian. It's got a creepy butler that's into necrophilia.
Rape, murder,
murder.
nudity, necrophilia, cannibalism.
What more
Body horror.
could you want?
What more does a growing young man really want in a movie?
Exactly.
Cheers to that. Let's just get right into this, man. Wow. Of course, we are talking about 1988 classic Blood Delirium.
Blood Delirium. Yeah, this one's been sitting on my shelf for quite some time now, and decided let's open this one up. Didn't disappoint.
No. I've watched quite a bit of Italian horror now. I think most of what I've watched is in the 70s,
Yeah.
Late 60s, 70s. Maybe this being later on, some people said we haven't gone far enough. This one definitely, it's like they throw everything in.
They do. I feel like this one's a little bit more fast-paced than some other, quite a bit of giallo movies.
Yeah, I would say so. It's pretty straightforward, and it just keeps ramping up the...
Yeah. Well, I
gross
wouldn't even
shit.
consider it. This wouldn't be considered giallo. Just it's Italian horror.
Yeah, it's not really a slasher.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, it's got a creepy dude that, a rapist kidnaps and murders people, but that's not really the point. It's not like this whole stalking.
Yeah.
There's none of that stuff.
No.
It's, well, let's describe what's going on. So,
Beginning's weird. You got a chick that gets talking to a ghost from the future.
yeah, she gets
That's-
naked for like 10 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And,
Immediately at the beginning, just walking around topless.
and
Amazing.
she's like waiting for her boyfriend to get home, and she hears a voice come out of her
Oh yeah, the voicemail, the answer machine.
yeah, the answering machine, and it's like it's me from the future, but I'm also dead.
Yeah.
We're gonna be as one.
Yeah. We're gonna be as
And-
one. Be born. You're gonna die soon. But yeah, let's not do that. I guess.
So then you see the same woman in bed dying with this other dude, and you're like, is this in the future?
Yes,
Like,
yes, exactly what I thought. This has got to be the future.
First third of this movie, we're like, what the fuck's happening?
And then you figure out it's all the same time. It's just another bitch that looks like her.
They look the same. It's like they share a soul.
Yeah.
Is kind of the idea. So meanwhile, we have this woman now that she's with this artist. She dies, and the artist is like, I've lost my love and my muse. He's a
Yes.
painter.
Yes.
And so there's a funeral.
Oh, the funeral is great. Which was also kind of like, is he letting this butler do this? So like,
So she's in the church. They're in the church.
with the body and the artist.
This is so
sad.
out of nowhere when this shit
Yeah.
happens. Because nothing's really happened yet.
Like I knew there was like the necrophilia in it. I didn't know how deep this was going to go with necrophilia. I assumed it would allude to this, but no. Yeah, so artist, he's mourning. He's like, I'm going to go play this organ.
Yeah, he's
And-
right in the room with playing the organ.
And the butler is just talking, oh, I've always loved you, and just starts going to town on this dead body.
Starts feeling her tits.
Yes. And licking her feet and her legs.
Pulls
and
her,
stuff.
and then
He is fucking.
dude hits the climax of the song, turns around, and the guy's just fucking the corpse in the church.
Because the back and forth of that, I thought he just assumed like this is what he does, and this,
No, he
Yeah.
was just like, he's over there, he
Yep.
won't notice.
Yep. But he turns around. No, burn in hell.
I'm
And-
gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But then he's like, no, never mind.
He turns around. You can see. He's like he saw her snatch. File.
Cream pie.
Yeah.
Necro cream pie. Yeah, it was horrifying. And so it fast forwards a year, and this painter, he can't paint anymore. He's lost his inspiration. There's something
yes.
he's missing.
He's missing.
And by the way, he did not kill or kick out his butler. He's just there.
The weirdest fucking thing ever. Like,
He's just like, I can't get rid of him. I don't know.
if he did not murder, you're fired, Butler. I can't deal with this anymore. I can't look at you.
At least, yeah.
Yes,
He
at
raped
least
your
that.
love's
Yes.
corpse.
Get the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Now I need to keep you on. It's a big old castle here that I
He's
got.
like, yeah, I've got all these
work.
dogs and horses and cows for no reason because I'm a painter.
They can't feed themselves.
But they get inspired.
Mm-hmm.
So the painter wants his muse back, and the butler just wants to see that.
And that's
sweet ass.
a weird realization to come to or compromise. Like,
How
did that conversation
We're in
go?
this together. Yeah.
Look, I gotta look at her. You can do what you want with her when I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Just be sure to clean up.
So they go and they steal her body out of a mausoleum.
Yeah.
And it's just like a skeleton with maggots in it.
They put a mask on her.
They made a mask and they set her up at the piano. So there's this like shriveled skeleton sitting at the piano, and he's like looking at it. And he's trying to paint. He's like, it's not doing it for me. He's freaking out.
This is not doing it. What was it? Oh yeah, so like the spirit of. Is her name Christine? Her name was
Christine and Sybil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two separate beings.
But they're basically
one
the
soul.
same person. Yeah.
And which I still have like issues with Christine's spirit talking to Sybil because she sends the flyer in of the artist. For his art gallery.
This is what happens, right? So Sybil, the one that's still alive, she's at home and she's already freaked out about this ghost thing, and it's a year later, and then the door opens and it's obviously this supernatural thing, and the flyer for this painter, his exhibit comes into the house.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to see this, and the boyfriend's like, no, why? We got to play music.
Yeah.
You have music to play. You're a pianist.
You're buying me a helicopter. Don't go buy this man's
You're the richest pianist in the world. You're like Yanni over here. You're gonna buy me a helicopter just because.
What do I do? I don't know. I just do whatever.
And then he happens to drive by. He's like, no, we're not doing that. But then he also drives by the art gallery on that day, and she's like, why'd you do this? He's like, what? I'm just driving. I have to go see it.
Yeah.
So she goes in there. This artist is in there. He's like, oh my God, it's Christine.
Yes.
He loses his shit. And she's really charmed by his whole artisty fucking bullshit.
As most women would be.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you made all this? Ooh.
Just be a mysterious douchebag.
And I'll be your muse. Amazing. Yeah.
He invited her to his castle.
And she's like, nah. And then she does later when
she's
her car
like,
breaks down.
Okay. Yeah.
So he had some great work in there. I like the demon.
Some of it was good.
Over.
Some of it was garbage. But yeah, the demon like squirting out of its ass.
Yes. He's supposed to be like heavily influenced by Van Gogh.
I feel like the reason they did that is so they could do all these fucking finger paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that Starry Sky painting or whatever,
Right.
There's a lot of shitty paintings in this. A few of them are good, but
most of them are awful.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. So yeah, she's in this castle, and it goes into this weird thing of. There's this weird scene where they're gonna fix her car because her car broke down, and the butler. They're pushing the car up the hill, right?
Yes, yeah.
And before this, it's like, okay, he had molested the corpse, yes, but nothing else had happened at this point.
You're still weirded out, like, they're together.
They're obviously fucking creeps, but it's not gone beyond corpse rape.
Right.
We haven't gone beyond that yet.
She's still alive, so we're good.
So they're pushing a car up the hill, and they see this girl. This girl's like doing laundry at her house,
playing with a rabbit.
Yeah,
she's the best mechanic with the best ass.
And the creepy old butler's like, she's got the best ass in the province, and she's like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna like
goes to try to rape her in front of the girl.
He literally attacks this girl in front of her, and she's just like watching like.
It's another day.
Another day in Italy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gets his shirt up. He's immediately sucking on her tit.
Yeah, he's
She's
like, she's like, no, stop.
yeah.
And this old man is just like,
Pulls a knife out, and he's like, "All right, jeez, fix
I'm
the
just
car."
joking around.
Yeah,
What's the deal?
yeah.
What are you getting so fucking upset about?
Yeah, jeez, it's a joke.
So he comes back later and does kidnap her.
Yes, and then what was it? Oh yeah, rapes her and then stabs her. Right?
Rapes.
Yeah.
Well, he stabs her while he's raping her,
yeah.
and then he
finishes.
finishes
Yes.
as she dies.
And,
yeah.
and the artist hears it, and he's like, "God damn it, Herman!"
You're disturbing my painting. But he's still having trouble painting. When he
Yes.
goes in there and he sees her blood in the barn on the ground, he's like, "Oh my god, this is the color I wanted."
Yes.
So they fucking string her body up in his studio and drain her blood,
Yeah.
and he starts using that as his painting for his paintings. So then it's like his butler. He starts killing. He kills a couple other people. Well,
He dismembers her, eats some of her organs, feeds some of it to the dog.
There is a pretty gross
Yeah.
dismemberment scene, and he does grill her fucking liver and eat it.
It was kind of interesting, like how he's getting her through the saw or the table saw. His fingers had to be up the snatch to push her up.
I mean,
like
why
his
not?
hand was down there.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Natural handle.
Yeah.
Grab him by the pussy, you know.
Like, but yeah, I mean, so and the girl's Sybil is witnessing that. She's like, "Oh God!" And then she gets drugged after that, right? I think
They
that's what it
basically
was.
drug her. They start drugging her. She figures out that shit's going on. She tries to escape, and they catch her, and then they're drugging her,
Yes.
and the butler's raping her.
Yeah.
Repeatedly. Molesting, raping.
The artist's fine with this. He's just like, just keep her quiet.
Yeah. Don't let her disturb my work.
And then what was it? Oh, she gets awake one night, calls her friend. I don't remember who.
Yeah.
But
Corrine.
Yeah,
her
Corrine.
other friend.
Yeah. So
That
they
also gets naked. There's so much nudity in this movie. And
yes.
rape and nudity. If you're into that, it's a lot of it.
And her friend comes down to the castle. She gets murdered.
Well, the thing is, like this. The thing is that they don't emphasize. The painter can see the future,
Yeah.
and he also has visions of other people. So he had painted a picture of this woman already, right?
Yeah, because she was like, "Oh, that's my friend."
Yeah.
He's like, I just
And
seen
she
her."
called, and the butler's like, "Oh, he called the girl you have a vision of." He's like, "Just drive up and pick her up. Tell her she needs help."
Yeah.
So they drive her out. As soon as she gets out of the car, the dog attacks her, and they're just like looking at her, like, "Ha, ha, yeah." Dog's jumping up, biting her titties. They're like, "Yeah, there we go, get her."
Then they drain her blood,
They murder, drain her. She's hanging up.
and then he's like, "Hey, don't do what you normally do. Put her in your creepy museum that you have down there that I apparently know nothing about."
Yeah, it's. I feel like this movie doesn't really need this supernatural shit.
No.
I feel like it's kind of annoying, but it does get down to the thing of the boyfriend finds out where they're at. She comes in, she's in there drugged, and the ghost comes alive and
Saves them, cuts
saves
his ear
them
off.
from the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of goofy, the ghost attack at the end, but because he just keeps going crazier and crazier, and he's just like, I need more blood, more blood.
Yes. And he gets the boyfriend, the girl, are like, I'm going to join your all's blood together to get the perfect paint.
Right. So he's got them naked,
yeah.
also just strung up there. Puts IV in, he's like draining the blood out.
A weird double IV thing. Like at the end of it, like that's what I hated the most was the ghost of Christine was like after the boyfriend and girlfriend makes it out, Sybil and the boyfriend. Ghost comes out and talks to her. Hey, now you won't be hurt anymore. And I'm just like, you could have just not said shit to her.
Yeah.
Nothing would have ever happened.
It's like, you did this.
It apparently nothing. I don't think anything went wrong before she died. She just had some illness and just died.
Yeah. All the madness happened after that,
I'm sure the butler did some creepy things. Clearly,
He
had
was
been.
definitely a creep.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I guess you were trying to atone for that. Like, hey, the butler needs to die, but you made your boyfriend go crazy. But
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I don't know what to say. Yeah, the Sybil and the boyfriend escape at the end in his helicopter, and they're so fucking happy. They're like,
looking back, smiling. Can't smile from what happened.
and they literally, and the painter and the butler literally die from a ghost earthquake, where some fucking pillars fall on their heads, and they die. And the butler literally reaches over and like grabs his hand in the moment that they
Maybe
die.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
He always wanted him, so he felt like he had to have the leftovers of what he had.
Yeah. They were substitutes.
Yes.
Yeah. He couldn't admit his true love.
Right.
Right.
That's what it is.
It's so crazy.
You want to get into scores? on
Yeah,
this?
let's
Okay.
do it. Let's do it.
I feel like I want to give this a 5, just because of the crazy shit that happens in it. It was a pretty decent pace for an Italian movie. A lot of Italian movies I've watched for quite a while seem a bit longer, kind of drawn out and kind of wacky. Now this one was wacky, but it still stayed with some of the plot. But probably should have just got rid of the occult stuff and saying I'm from the future type thing. Leave that out. It would have been perfectly fine, but I'm still giving it a 5 because I enjoyed the gruesome of like the murder of the girl where they start cutting her up, the car worker girl, and just the goofiness of getting the dead body, and then especially the artist still sticking with the butler after all this time. He's still bitching about him. He's like, yeah, Christine brought her in here, and I
can't get rid of him.
I can't get
I
rid of
don't
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he tried hard enough. He just, like, we're just not gonna. It's like one of those parents that like find out like their kids either do drugs or I don't know, something like that. Like a mom knows what the kids do, but they're like
Pretend like they don't.
pretend, or like one of the wives that knows the husband's cheating, but they just deny it the whole time.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with the artist. He's
Right.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he kind of descends into his madness.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is definitely a 5. Definitely a 5 for me. I mean, just extreme weird shit
Yeah.
through the whole thing, and you're constantly surprised by the things that happen,
Right.
and it's so. At times, it's kind of incongruent because when it starts, you don't. I feel like you're not prepared for where it's gonna go at the beginning.
Right.
it just like, I mean, he literally rapes her in her corpse in the church,
Ugh.
and then you're like, holy shit. And then he ends up cutting up that other woman. I mean, he's sawing through. I mean, you see it, sawing her head off, sawing her legs, and he's like hauling this shit around. And you're like, God damn, wow, okay. And it's like the effects they're pretty good. I mean, like at one point he kills that other one and cuts her stomach. He's pulling the guts out.
Yeah.
And at one time he feeds the guts to the dog, and he cooks the other one. It's. I mean, it definitely hits every extreme element.
Yeah.
Aside from incest, maybe there's a sequel. I don't know. But it was surprising to me. It's definitely, if you're looking for that extreme kind of stuff, and that stays, it doesn't get boring.
Yeah.
There's always something going on, something new happening, something going on, and the story is. It is what it is, but it's enough to carry the fucked up shit through.
Right. Yeah.
So definitely a 5. I don't know if it's on streaming anywhere, but you got it, Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, Vinegar
Blood
Syndrome.
Delirium.
Look for it. You may be able to find it, but
If you want to see fucked up shit, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one to watch. Got any suggestions? let us know. Comments. But yeah, uh, no more comments about let's boost your page. I want comments of what movie to watch next. So let us know. Check us out on Rumble and YouTube.
Rumble and YouTube. There you
Yeah.
go.